Welcome back to the Whisky Couch. This is Whisky Tasting and Food Pairing Review number 83 with me, Gustav Miller, as your host. And today's whisky is the Jura Prophecy from the Jura Distillery. Jura Distillery, founded in 1810. It's embossed on the bottle there, 1810. And situated, of course, on the Isle of Jura, owned by Whyte and Mackay. The name Jura comes from a Norse word meaning island of the deer. There are less than 200 people living on the island of Jura, but more than 5,000 deer. So it's the island of the deer. One of my favorite distilleries, of course, in the village. The website says one road, one pub, one community, one distillery, and I always add the last phrase, one island. I visited the distillery a while back with my son, and there you can see on the horizon the island of Jura, and there's a 800-meter wide strip of sea that separate Jura from Isla, and you can take a ferry to cross over. That is the village with the distillery that we visited. So it is situated off the west coast of Scotland, Highlands, Lowlands, and the well-known Speyside area. And then here off the west coast, just north of Isla, is the island of Jura. And you may notice that on the gift boxes there is a separation line, the shape of the bottle, and then a bright side and a dark side, and that is because the southern side of the island is habitable but the northern side is completely inhabitable. So they depict that with that shading on all of the gift boxes. This particular whisky, Jura Prophecy, with the eye of the seer symbol on the bottle, is in remembrance of the prophecy that an old seer prophesied more than 100 years ago, that the last Campbell to leave the island will leave penniless, and in 1938 that prophecy came to be. So this whisky is in remembrance of that prophecy. It is a heavily peated single malt, says that on the bottle, on the box here at the bottom, heavily peated. Bottled at 43% alcohol by volume, matured in ex-Bourbon and ex-Sherry, and also a Limousin French oak casks. And it says here on the gift box, there you can see all four, the core range, with all four their particular symbols. It says here that meticulously crafted from a selection of the finest and the rarest aged Jura single malt whiskies, Prophecy is profoundly peated spirit. And what we can expect is peat smoke, fresh cinnamon, spicy sea spray lead the first assault. Finally, the tarry bonfire notes slowly give way to hints of soft licorice and nutmeg. So that's what we can expect in this whisky. I've already poured the dram from this bottle just to let it stand for a little bit, and we can see the fiery golden amber color on this whisky. I'm going to hold it a little bit closer. Maybe you can see some of the legs there, the oily legs. The sherry cask influence is evident in the nose quite quickly. Bonfire smoke, I can agree with that on the gift packaging. That wonderful salty sea spray with the spiciness. A little bit grassy as well. But I'm also getting some licorice on the nose. This is a very complex nose. It's layers and layers that sort of approach you like waves. Vanilla, sherry, cinnamon, a bit of brown sugar, grape jam and chocolate, and one can expect the complexity because of the range of casks involved in the maturation of this Jura Prophecy. Much more peat smoke on the palate than on the nose initially, and the sea spray, salty sea spray with that soft licorice, cinnamon and nutmeg. Most of the things actually mentioned on the gift box this time I do agree with, because I can pick it up, but there's also some other things that I'm getting on the palate. It's quite a rich whiskey. This strikes me immediately, together with honey and there's a herby element, some herbs as well. There's an oily mouthfeel that coats your mouth very well, that is quite pleasant. Magnificent whiskey. There's so much going on in here. Citrus and pepper, and a bit of chocolate from the sherry casks, and coffee from the sherry cask, vanilla from the bourbon and the Limousin French oak cask, and then the sherryness on the palate with the sherry spiciness. A long finish. Everything is just lingering, the sweet and the salty, lingering with the peat smoke. Vanilla. And a slight oaky bitterness in the end. I'm going to add a few drops of water. One can do that easily with 43% alcohol by volume. And I'm going to see what happens. See the oiliness there as you add the water on the glass. Vanilla and dark berries appearing. Wonderful nose. And with a few drops of water, it's even more rounded, and a little bit less of those bitter notes. In summary, I would say a rich, sweet and salty peat smoke whiskey. Rich, sweet and salty. That's something that I've grown accustomed with the Jura whiskies, is the salty sea spray in all of their whiskies. And it makes sense because it's a coastal distillery, so the sea spray and the sea salt from the waves and the ocean and the sea will have an influence during maturation. A comment that I must make, this is probably the Jura superstition on steroids. That's how I would describe this one. $80 for a bottle, 36 pounds in the UK, and around 900 to 1,000 South African rand here in South Africa. If you want to pair this whiskey, heavily peated, with a food snack, then you can consider something like a blue cheese. Blue cheese often work quite well with peated whiskies, but also pan-fried scallops. If you think sea spray, then you think seafood immediately, or connect with the saltiness by using pitted olives as a flavor companion for this whiskey. I've tried this one, the Lind Excellence dark chocolate with sea salt. It works perfectly. Or fresh oysters also works well with a peaty whiskey. I have got a few strips of prawns here. Prawns that I pan fried. I butterflied them and then I pan fried them, not using garlic, only lemon butter sauce, and in the end a bit of whiskey just for the final few moments of the pan frying. and I'm going to try this with Jura Prophecy. Pan-fried prawns, ocean on a stick. Oh boy, I can have lots and lots of this. Sea spray. What's wonderful is the sweetness of the prawn meat and the saltiness of the whiskey just connects. Contradictory, but they connect. They do not clash at all, and because it's fried the right way, it just works perfectly. Very good pairing. Thank you for watching. Remember to share this video with your friends, and I'll see you again soon for the last in the Jura range that I'm going to review, the Jura 21 Slancher.